Motor vehicle accidents create numerous challenges for today's responders. It is our job to keep ourselves safe, our fellow responders safe, while addressing the needs of the patient or patients trapped in the vehicle. As you watch this video, keep in mind that these are controlled situations. It is important to realize in the real world, there are countless variables. Each situation is unique, which may require the rescuer to adjust on scene. Vehicles can be found in the most precarious of situations. This DVD series will give you a foundation in extrication and an understanding of the extrication process.
We will look at vehicle construction, motive power, vehicle safety systems, the operational cycle, scene management, patient considerations, stabilization, glass management, extrication equipment, and extrication techniques. On this DVD, the third in the series, we will be discussing in detail extrication equipment and extrication techniques. It is crucial that you understand all of the tools available to your department. These tools may vary, but there are common characteristics of most extrication tools. Additionally, there are common procedures and evolutions that produce reliable outcome in the field. This DVD covers these topics, and when used along with the knowledge covered on the previous two DVDs, can help you and your fire department have a safe and effective extrication program. Before picking up a tool or approaching a vehicle, make sure to wear appropriate PPE. Extrication tools are always evolving, becoming stronger and more efficient. As a rescuer, we need to always stay properly trained on the use of the tools you have access to, as well as staying open-minded to the other options. During a vehicle extrication, the patient doesn't care how you get them out. It is up to us to use all resources at our disposal to do it safe and efficiently.
Extrication equipment is constantly evolving. However, there are a few tools common to most extrication situations.
The reciprocating saw. This tool is a very efficient tool to cut through metal and laminated glass windows. These tools come as either cordless, battery-operated units, or plug-in corded units. As with all extrication situations, wear appropriate PPE, flash protection, head protection, eye protection, gloves, and respiratory protection. Make sure you are using an appropriate rescue or extrication blade. Place the blade of the saw on the metal with the shoe of the saw up against the vehicle. Run the saw at full speed, one hand on the trigger and one hand pushing down on the top of the saw. Make sure to change the blades after each event. Used blades can be kept for training situations. The cutter. Cutters are devices used to cut components on the vehicle. Typically, they are hydraulically operated and exert about 50,000 pounds per square inch to some exceeding 200,000 pounds per square inch. There are other cutters that are manually operated and electrically operated. It is important to understand exactly how your specific type of cutter works. If using a hydraulic cutter, this would include the proper maintenance and use of the power plant. If using an electric cutter, this would include the proper maintenance of the battery supply. There are a few common safety issues when using all cutters. First, always wear appropriate PPE, flash protection, eye protection, gloves, and helmet. Never operate the tool while you are between the tool and the vehicle. The pressures present in most modern extrication tools could easily crush the rescuer if we do not respect this tenet. Third, always set the cutter down with the tips in the closed position. Finally, make sure to always strip the vehicle's trim from the area in which you are about to cut. Safety and power systems are constantly being moved around the vehicle. No one can remember the location of every system in every vehicle. Be safe and check prior to cutting. In the event you run into vehicle wiring, do not cut it with the cutter, but use a set of wire cutters or medical shears. Never cut into high voltage cabling. The various manufacturers have different controls and safety systems for their cutters. Make sure you take the cutters off the apparatus and practice with them to fully understand what they do and how they behave. It is important to note that these vehicles' materials can cause the cutter to twist and bend as the vehicle's material is weakened. The tool takes the path of least resistance. So do your best to anticipate where the cutter will go. Maybe even flip the tool over. Many times this methodology helps keep the cutter in line with the cut you wish to make, and it is even easier to cut. When cutting posts, make sure the blades go completely around the post and 90 degrees to what is being cut.
Now, rescuers, let's walk through the various roof evolutions.
Roofs, be they roof post cuts or relief cuts for a roof displacement, the big issue with all tool evolutions is the vehicle materials and construction. We have ultra-high strength reinforcements in the roof today. Some include boron steel, the same material as the door crash bar and beam. We also can find side curtain airbag systems in the roof, as well as seatbelt brackets in the B-post, because it is also made of hardened material. So before putting a cutting tool to the roof, displace the interior trim to look for these items. You may need to change the location of your cut to avoid these issues. As wires are found in the path, remember to cut these with a hand cutter like medic shears or battery cable cutters. Do not use powered tools. Also remember the vehicle's structure has crash energy stored in it at times. When we sever roof posts, sometimes they snap or pop as this energy is released. It is important to place a protection barrier between the tool and the patient and interior rescuer. This is even more important today when hardened materials are cut. Sometimes small hardened debris is created and sent flying about. When you make the cut, be sure the tool completely closes and make the cut fully. Sometimes we have to wait for the second stage of the power unit to kick it to make the cut. Also, you must allow for foam reinforcement in the post to be compressed to make the cut. Let's walk through the simple roof removal. After properly sizing up the situation, securing the vehicle, placing protection over the occupants of the vehicle, and removing the glass from the vehicle, you may then perform the roof removal. First, strip all of the trim from the sections of the vehicle you are going to cut. In this case, it is the A, B, and C posts. Look for any high-strength reinforcement or SRS canisters. Do not cut through those items. As wires are found in the path, remember to cut these with a hand cutter like medic shears or battery cable cutters. Do not use powered tools. Sever each post with an appropriate tool, wearing appropriate PPE. Always cut the post closest to the victim last. Now simply lift the roof off the vehicle and place it to the side.